Hello everyone, my name is Heather and welcome back to my channel Bookables and welcome to another reading vlog. So yeah, I have a lot of reading plans this month. Hopefully I'll do 2 vlogs, we'll have to see. But I am very excited because there's a lot of anticipated books that are coming out this month that I was like, I have to do a reading vlog for at least one set of them. But before I get into the books I'm reading, which I'm sure you can already tell, I do want to thank the sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. If you don't know about BetterHelp, they are customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. It is so easy if you want to start therapy and you don't know exactly where to go. BetterHelp is a great way to do so. All you do is go to their site online and they will give you a brief survey, basically asking why you're coming to therapy today, what you're looking to get out of it, questions like that. From there, they will match you with a therapist. And what's great about BetterHelp is sometimes when you get matched with a therapist, it might not be a good fit. That happens to everybody. BetterHelp offers free switching of therapists in case you aren't jiving well with your therapist. Then after that, you can schedule your secure phone or video sessions however you want to do, how often you want to talk to your therapist, and it's just amazing. Asking for help is always beneficial for not only you, but for your family and friends around you, because being the best you is the best thing that you can do. I struggle greatly with anxiety, and I've recently started therapy, and it has helped out a lot because I've been going through a lot of things these past few years, quite a lot of trauma that I would have never thought, but things happen and therapy is always there to help you. It can only help and not hinder. I always recommend it. If you're interested in trying out BetterHelp, which I suggest you do, can you go to the link www.betterhelp.com/bookables to get 10% off of your first month. You can always try before you buy and you can save money in between. So join the 3 million plus people that have taken charge of their mental health with an experienced BetterHelp therapist. You will not regret it, trust you me. As I told you, I just started therapy. I struggle with anxiety. I struggle with a lot of trauma. I struggle a lot with medical anxiety in general. I still struggle with postpartum depression. It's a lot. It's a lot for anybody to handle living in this world, so don't do it alone. As always, thank you so much to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Now onto the books I plan to read for this vlog. Like I said, I am reading 3 books. These are all 3 romances that I am very anticipated for this month in particular. A novel love story by Ashley Poston. I have loved all of her adult romances, so I'm really hoping to love this one. I have Allie Hazelwood's newest book, Not in Love, which again, I'm really excited for. And then lastly, I have The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center, which is the least anticipated one, I will say. So I'm going to read them exactly in that order what I showed you. So the one I'm expecting, let me just put my thoughts of how I'm going to feel about these books right now before we even get into it to see if they match up by the end of this video. The one I think I'm going to love the most and the one I'm hoping to love the most is A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. The next one I think I'll like the most is Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood, just because of the track record I have with Allie Hazelwood. I seem to really enjoy her books. And the one I think I'm going to like the least, because again, my track record with her is The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. So I'm going to start with this one because it's the one I think I'm going to like the least, but you never know with these. These could be totally, my predictions could be totally wrong. We'll have to see. Also, I'm trying to film this on my new camera, so hopefully that goes well. I'm trying to get the bang out of my buck for that, so we'll just have to see how that goes. Hopefully it'll work out. But I'll update you the more I'll update you when I officially get into this one and let you know my thoughts and feelings. If I keep looking over here, I'm looking at my viewfinder. You know, it's just hard. It's how it goes. I'm used to having a viewfinder up top, and now it's over here. But either way, I'm going to start with this one. And yeah, let's get into it. Basically, right now, I am on the way to the movies with one of my very best friends, Brittany. I've been best friends with her since we were 14. We're 35, so you do the math, a very long time. We're always like going to the movies because we both love the movies so much, and I'll go see anything with her other than horror movies or scary movies. I don't do those, so she has to take probably her husband at those, but she goes to the movies all the time with her husband too. I just try to go, like, I don't know. I love the movies. That's one thing you should know about me, is that's the one place I can really kind of like just disconnect. And that sounds weird, I know, but it's, if I watch TV or a movie at home somehow, some way, and I'm not watching children, I'm still doing things. Like I'm very type A. I have to do something while I'm doing something else. So if I'm watching a movie, I'm like, oh, I could fold clothes and put them up, or I could maybe meal plan, or I could maybe pay bills, you know, etc. You go on. And so it's never really immersing myself in the movies. I'm just like doing, you know, I'm just filling the void, I guess. I'm always doing something. The movies, when I go to the actual movies, it is like, you know, I focus my attention to it. I'm not on my phone, or I'm not doing other things. So, and I love going to the movies. I love getting popcorn. I love getting a soda. You know, I've not eaten pretty much all day to save up for calories for it. And another thing is I try to go out, whether it be to the movies or dinner with other friends and things like that. At least I try to do once a week. That never really happens. I'd say like maybe every other week. And the reason for that is just because I'm an ambivert. So I'm very extroverted, but I'm also very introverted. So basically, like if I have a busy week and I see friends a few times a week, or there's lots of stuff going on, my social tank gets full up to capacity, and I need some time for it to drain. That's when my introvert comes out. So that's my thing. Also, with just being a stay-at-home mom, I find, for me, this is me personally, very important for me to get out of the house. It helps me be not just mom, not just mama, but also Heather, an actual human being with friends and things like that. It helps me be a better mom, you know. And that's not to say Matt goes out too with his friends. He was literally last night he was at he had band practice with his band that they're promoting. He had band practice with his band because they were trying to get their first like EP, oh goodness, their first album kind of thing out. And then after that they all went to Chili's to like have a beer and dinner and stuff. So it helps me refill my social tank and just my self tank, and I just really like to do it. Tonight, anyway, this is the longest clip ever. Tonight we are going to see If, which I am very excited about. It's like a kiddish type of movie. It's about imaginary friends, but I mean, if John, I can't ever say his name, Krasinski directs it, and Steve Carell's one of the voices in it, you bet you about $1 I'm going to see it. It's got a lot of other amazing voice casts too, like Emily Blunt, my boo Sam Rockwell, I love him. A whole bunch of other, Aquafina I think's a voice in it. Yeah, I'm excited. Other movies we've seen recently, I'd say recently in the past 6 months or so, Brittany and I, we saw The Fall Guy last month, I think. We really enjoyed it. I would have to say it's one of the best rom-coms I've seen in a while, and there has not been a long time rom-coms. We've seen Anyone But You, is that right? With the girl from Euphoria. I thought it was okay. It was not amazing, but it wasn't horrible. We also saw Argyle. We saw that, and that was, it's hard because it's got Sam Rockwell, and I love Sam Rockwell. It's just his presence, I think. It was just, it started out really amazing, and then the movie took like 50 different turns, and I was like, I don't know what this movie's trying to be, but I enjoyed it. I would continue on if it makes itself a series, but yeah, I just like going to movies. I'm not the Oscar in-depth type of movie watcher. I just watch it to have a good time. I try not to watch a lot of sad movies because honestly, I got enough sad crap going on in my life. That's not like Boo-hoo is me, but you get what I'm saying. If you've been there, you've been there. So I try to watch a lot of upbeat stuff because that's just what I like to do.
It's just so exciting.
So what's your name?
My name is Allie.
Sonny. Andromeda's the third.
Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I don't know why I always forget what day it is, but I do. The lighting is not the best in here, so we're just gonna have to. So I do want to do a very quick update, on The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. I'm literally only 50 pages in, so when I say quick update, I mean quick update. So far I'm enjoying it. There's not much to learn about it because, as I've said, I'm only 50 pages into it, but I do want to tell you what this book is about. So we follow a character named Emma, who is an inspiring screenwriter. She loves studying script. She loves doing all that kind of stuff. And she lives at home with her dad, her dad is still really young, but she has to take care of him. He had a rock climbing accident years ago that has left him paralyzed on one side, and he has another type of disease as well. So it pretty much leaves him, he can't do like barely anything himself. So she has given up a lot of her dreams in order to help take care of her dad. And then who should call her but her old high school boyfriend Logan, who is now a Hollywood agent. And he's like, hey, I have an opportunity of a lifetime for you. We have the biggest screenwriter ever, Charlie Yates, and he wrote a rom-com and it's horrible and I need someone to help him rewrite it. And he reaches out to Emma, and Emma's like, what? Like, I have loved Charlie for years. I've like just everything about him. And so she pretty much packs up and moves to LA to write a new screenplay with Charlie, and that's what the whole premise of this book is about, with her rewriting this rom-com, because Charlie is so anti-love and she is not. It's just, that's what it's about. But I do want to say, 50 pages in, they were about to pull up to Charlie's house because of course he's like this really big Hollywood screenwriter, so he's really rich. They described his, let me see if I can find the exact way that they described it. I found it. It took me forever. So basically, so when they reach Charlie's house, Logan is telling Emma all about his house, and he says it's not exactly a house, more like a mansion. The exterior was featured in a Nancy Meyers movie. And that's all I needed to know. If you have watched any Nancy Meyers movie, which I'm sure you have, you know her exteriors, her interiors are just phenomenal. Like, it makes you think about what the hell these characters do to make this absurd amount of money. But just the settings of her like movies with the houses is just insane. I'm talking about Something's Gotta Give, phenomenal, beautiful, probably one of my favorites. Father of the Bride. She was not a director of that movie, but she did write and produce it, so I have a feeling she had to do somewhat with the set design. When you think about a house in Father Bride, you can picture that house in your mind. Like, tell me you can't. She also did It's Complicated, not one of my favorites at all, but again, the exterior, interior, beautiful. She recently did The Intern, which is a movie that came out a while ago that had Anne Hathaway, Robert De Niro. It was set in New York. The interiors, exteriors weren't as quite Nancy Meyers as what her usual takes are, but if you know Nancy Meyers interiors and exteriors, you know, like, I was like, damn, this is a beautiful freaking house. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm just picturing this guy's house and it being like a Nancy Meyers house, and it makes me want to move in because it's just so light and airy and beachy and nice, and I want that. And it makes you feel like whatever house you live in is a dump. So there's that. So that's all I have to update you on. Is I'm 50 pages in, and hopefully I'll get up to at least 100 to 150 pages today. I really hope so. I need to be better about reading this week because I'm not doing that great. Not the best sound, not the best angle. Either way, I wanted to show you my garden. So if you don't know, I have taken it upon myself this year to enter my grandma era. I think that's what they're calling it. I am 35 and I fully embraced gardening and bird watching. And does that make me a grandma? If so, I don't care. I love it. I really wanted to try this year with flower gardening in particular because I wanted to see if I could do it, things like that. I really just like it. And next year I want to start doing vegetables and things like that. So I wanted to start with flowers and then work my way up. The reason is for that, like I said, I wanted to. Number two, we are outside a ton. I've told you that, guys, repeatedly. My kids are outside a lot. I'm outside, so we have really tried to make our backyard an oasis. And this year in particular, I wanted to extend more flowers and colorfulness because since I'm outside all the time, I was like, why not make it beautiful and bright and pretty? And that's exactly what I'm doing. And it's a work in progress. So everything I'm showing you today, I'm still a beginner. I don't know. I like to think I have somewhat of green thumb. I love gardening. It relaxes me. I get my hands dirty and I do not care. It is totally fine. But yeah, I'm going to show you everything I've planted thus far. A lot of these that I'm going to show you, I got, and it's a huge tip for me to you when it comes to gardening, especially with flowers. Lowe's clearance section is where it's at. Trust me, you might think you look over there and it's full of dead flowers. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times, if you catch it on a good week, the stuff there is booming, and you can get so many amazing flowers that are not even dead for half off or more, and it is phenomenal. So I'll show you exactly what flowers. So this section over here is my shade garden. A lot of these flowers are not shade. I did not know it was a shade garden until recently, so I'm going to break it down to you. This is a garden that already existed since last year. So first up, we have these beautiful Asiatic lilies. I always say buy them in the bulbs at Lowe's inside rather than buy them already made because you can get them for so much cheaper. As you can see, I already have 3 that are blooming, and then I have 2 more actually down there. And I have another one that will be coming soon. That's my last one because the other two got kind of messed up. Here are mums that I've had literally for years. Of course, they're growing right now, but they're not blooming because it's not mum season, but they'll do fine because I've had them. Then these are snapdragons. I bought these when I first started my gardening. And I thought this would get full sun over here. It doesn't. It gets shade, but they're doing okay. That's why I'm not moving them. So there you have it. Back here, I have gladiolas. These I bought in bulbs years ago. As you can see, some are getting quite tall, and some are kind of flopping over. But either way, they're just kind of in the back because of how big they get. I have a cardinal and hydrangea flag because why not? And then over here, I have a ton of begonias. Like, this is my row of begonias, a ton of them. Then I have a hibiscus right here that I do believe has a bloom on it. And then I have more lily. And then I have more lilies over here. As you can see, they're just starting to. I just planted those like a month ago, so they're not quite nearly as the other ones are. And then throughout here, I have an assortment of pansies, and I also have, where are they? They're so hard to see now. And patience right there. But either way, this is my shade garden. It's a pretty garden. It's not one of my favorites, but I still do enjoy it. Over here in a big planter I've had since I moved here, I just pack a ton of annuals in here. So this is full of petunias, pansies, and snapdragons are kind of getting outruled here, which I feel bad about. But either way, put pansies and petunias on a thing in a container and they will go wild, but they look beautiful and it fills it up so nicely. And again, I have the exact same stuff right over in this one. Over here, this is right behind my sunroom, we have rocks, but I planted kind of like a container garden, if you will. This is a hibiscus, which I love. It's one of my favorite summer flowers. These are Gerber daisies, and as you can see, they're lush and beautiful, and I got them on Lowe's clearance. And who would know that they were on clearance? Not me. This beautiful box right here, and I even left the tag on it. I bought this last week. This was $25, half off for $25. It was literally like this. It's not dead at all. Sometimes they just put overstock in there, so always check your clearance. Trust you me. Like, look at this. This is beautiful. I don't want to pay $25 for this. I paid $12, and I can reuse the pot for next year. Boom. Just like these geraniums. My mom got these for clearance because that's right. I've told my mom to check her Lowe's clearance as well. Then I have some pansies I have just put in a pot. I just save pots because I think every gardener does. So over here is our big project this year. The last vlog I did, I showed you where we had just made this whole garden area. We just put a border around it, and I have then started planting. So that's been a couple months, so I'm going to show you everything. I wanted a really pretty area, and that is exactly what this is. As you can see, I have a bird feeder over there because I love birds. Any sort of trinkets you see like that right there was either gifted from my neighbor or my mom. Like, my neighbor has a lot of those, and she was getting rid of them. She's like, do you want them? And she knows I'm a cheap girl, so I said yeah. So there's that. There's a bird bath my husband got me for Mother's Day. That's right, you heard that right. And then I have another bird feeder because I love the birds. So anyway, this is the very corner of our yard, and it goes all the way down, as you can see. So I'm going to kind of give you a tour of it. So over here we have all the stones. We also have a couple little stepping stones because my husband put this post in. We painted it white. He put 2 hooks on it. It looks professional and beautiful. So this whole row right here are lined with geraniums and then sun patience, which are really pretty, and I would recommend them. They are great, especially if you love impatiens but you don't have shade. Sun patience are new. They are beautiful. Then over here I have clearance celosias, if I said that right. Some of them are doing better than others. We'll have to see, but either way, they were clearance. Over here is some lantana. I think that's right, lantana. Hopefully I said that right. It's an annual. It won't come back. I try to put perennials over here. Then I have this Shasta daisy that's already started to grow bigger, I guess you say. Spread, that's the word. Then over here I have all of my dahlias. These are all dahlias, all that I planted from tubers, which is just phenomenal. They are tall. No buds have been in sight. I don't know how much taller they'll get before I see buds, but I don't know. I think there's 2 different types of dahlias because these look very different than that, but they're dahlias. Over here is a brand new addition I just put in today. These are called Bidens. I got them, you guessed it, at the clearance section for $2, and look how pretty they are. Over here, this is, I think, verbena. Hopefully I said that right. Then right behind it, I have some corpses. This will come back every year. They're kind of, as you can see, a yellowish type of flower that's really, really pretty, and it will spread, which is the goal for this whole garden. Right here I have some salvia that is doing okay. It just doesn't have any buds right now. There is some sweet William dianthus, which I love dianthus, and this is a very tall variety, as you can see, and it has beautiful pink and white blooms that will come back every year. You can sense a trend. These right here are low to the ground, but hopefully they'll grow up. These are poppy ammoniums. Again, I planted them from bulbs. Hopefully they'll grow and be really pretty. If you've seen poppies, they're beautiful. I've never grown them before. We'll see if I do. Then behind here is like my coneflower and black-eyed Susie. So I just got those today because I have never seen coneflowers at Lowe's, so I'm like, I'm buying them. Those are orange coneflowers. They will come back every year. I thought I'd go ahead and buy them. Then I have a whole bunch of other ones. That's another coneflower right there. Then I have some black-eyed Susie. So there's a couple of black-eyed Susies. I have some my mother-in-law gave me that are not doing the best. And then I have another coneflower. So back here, my whole goal is for behind the post for it just to be strictly coneflower and black-eyed Susies. So lining this entire bed on the side is all petunias, geraniums. They're great. They'll grow big. I love them. So I also have some canna right here that I got from bulbs. I've never grown canna before, so we'll see how it looks. Then I have some snapdragons that are, I don't know, it's not my year for snapdragons. I love them, but it's just not happening this year. They're looking okay. I have some phlox that was, actually both of these were over on the other side where it gets really blasted with sun, and they just were not doing well, so I moved them over here to still full sun, but a little less harsher. But this is phlox. It's hopefully will make a comeback. And then my pride and joys are these beauties right here. These hydrangeas are doing phenomenal. So I have 3 of them. So this hydrangea right here, it's about half the size of me, and I'm 5'4", so do your math. I got it when it was very, not even, it was tiny. And it has grown. And last year I only had one single thing that bloomed. One. Look how many I have this year. That's insane. Then I have this other one that my neighbor gifted to me because she's amazing. And then I have this one that's not bloom, but it's doing healthy, so she alright in my book. This tree here, I forget exactly what it is. It's been here since we moved. More geraniums, petunias. You get the gist. And over here comes to be my seedling area. So I have a whole bunch of seedlings that I actually just transplanted because they were growing literally everywhere. They're mainly sunflowers and zinnias. From some patients I got, for you guessed it, clearance. They're doing great. This is a very tiny azalea. I don't know how big it'll get, but either way. This is a new addition too. All of it is really. This is a mandeville, which is a tropical flower. So I bought this trellis because I'm hoping that it will grow up. So there's like 3 of them in there. And you guessed it, your girl got them for clearance. Yes. Another random coneflower I have right here. I have this thing that my mom actually just gave me because she knows how much I'm into gardening now. Look how pretty and memorizing it is. And this is where my seedlings really are. My seedlings took off. I planted a whole bunch of seeds this year and it just wasn't the best for me, but these really did it. So as you can see, I have my very first zinnia blossom. What? Look how beautiful it is. And I have a whole bunch more coming. Look at that one. This one down here should open tomorrow. And it's going to be purple. I have a whole bunch coming. It's amazing. There's 10 of them. And behind here, I have some sunflowers. I believe these are dwarf sunflowers. I don't know. They're kind of getting hidden right now, so I might move them when they start flowering. I don't know. But I have a couple behind there, but these are all zinnias, which is, look just how pretty and bright and fun that is. And just for retrospect, see how tall it is? There's the top of my gate. It's like a 6-foot privacy fence. They're already pretty freaking tall. Again, as you can see, geranium, petunia, geranium, petunias. Look how beautiful those are. Another rabbit my neighbor gave me. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole garden tour. How just fun and nice and just beautiful it is. I love it so much.
Pick up the phone, honey. I thought you liked to know to get alone, honey, to buy us a home. And even though the windows are smashed, even though the walls are cracked, welcome home, welcome home. Are you pleased, honey? Just wanted to help grab the keys, honey, see it for yourself. And even though the curtains are torn, there's no heat to keep us warm. Well,
hello everyone. It has been a couple days. I am sorry I did not vlog yesterday. I do want to tell you I'm officially halfway through the rom-commers. Am I reading super slow? Yes, there's no reason. I've just been busy with house stuff, school stuff, therapy stuff for my son, so I just have not had the most time to read. Look at me, I'm just totally like very casual today, but I'm always casual. Anyway, this morning we had a play date with one of my best friends and her daughter, and that was pretty fun, but I didn't read any this morning. But like I said, I'm halfway through the rom-commers and I'm actually really enjoying it. I went online to look at the reviews, and the reviews have been kind of mixed, and so I was expecting to feel the same way, but so far I'm really liking it. I like the banter between I forgot our main characters' names. I am horrible. What's it? I don't even know what her name is. Oh, Emma, and I really like the banter. I really like the banter between Emma and Charlie. I think it's just fun. They have started working on the script together, and her whole goal is to get him to believe in love because he's so cynical because of his past. And she's like, look, we're going to make this rom-com movie the best. And at one point, when he's talking about making this movie, he's just like, look, I just want to get this done. If I get this done, then they will greenlight my mafia movie. So he doesn't really care about this. But she overhears this conversation in Charlie and their shared agent. And Charlie's like, look, she's an amazing writer. You know, we're going to... Charlie says this. And then he's like, what? And he's like, the cheese. And he's like, the cheese? He's like, yeah, man, these love stories, they're so cheesy, and not even the self-respecting kind of cheese like Brie or Gruyere. I can't even pronounce that right. This is Velveeta. This is American slices wrapped individually in plastic sleeves. This is aerosol spray cheese. Well, if that's rom-coms, then sign me the heck up. I love rom-coms. It's my favorite genre of movies. My favorite movies are rom-coms. My all-time favorite movie is 10 Things I Hate About You. I love a good rom-com, and so she's like, look, I want to show you how to make a rom-com good, and we're going to make it great. And so that's what they're doing, is they're working on this script. You get to see kind of the inner workings of them writing dialogue and stuff like that. And she's on this whole journey to get him to believe in love and get him to believe in rom-coms and make this script amazing. But I'm really liking it so far, so that's my update. Hello and happy Saturday. I am happy to report that late last night, that's right, late, because kids, my dog kept me up, you know how it goes. I did finish The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. Where's the hardback? I don't know. It's somewhere in this house, but either way, I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought it was. I would say going into it, I was probably thinking, hello. Hi. I was thinking I was probably going to give it like a 3 out of 5, but I'm happy to say I would give it a 4 out of 5. I think I honestly would have given it a 5 out of 5, but there was a couple things that I didn't love in it, which I'll touch on. But overall, I would say this is a great summer read. It's really cute. I'd say if you're a big fan of rom-coms, I would check it out. But yeah, I told you what it's about. It's about Emma and Charlie rewriting a script for a romantic comedy, which is one of the things I didn't love about this book. Like, I love the aspect of that, but they didn't really touch on the aspect of writing. They talked about writing and stuff like that, but you didn't really get to see the nitty gritty of it, I would say, which I wanted kind of more of, especially since they were writing a rom-com. And she was saying, you know, how she was going to prove him wrong about love. And they went on one excursion to like line dancing, and I was hoping they would do kind of more romantic things, like kind of almost Beatree by Emily Henry, where, I forget the character's name. I want to say it's, I don't know what her name is, but she was a romance author, and the guy she's kind of trying to get to love romance, she takes him on various excursions. So I was kind of hoping this would be the same thing, but it wasn't. But I will say it does touch a lot on caretaking, because Emma has been the sole caretaker of her dad for 10 years, and she's always put herself second, and she's never known how to go for her dreams and things like that. And I think that's really important, because I think there's a lot of people out there that are caretakers that do have to put their wants and their needs and their hopes and dreams aside to either care for a family member or their child or things like that. And I am like that myself. Like, I I take care of my dad. We have been helping a lot with Matt's parents as well. And our son, who is autistic, we pretty much can know that we will be taking care of him for the rest of our lives. So we will always be caretaker. It's not 18 and we're done. I don't think you're ever really done parenting, but I do think you're done when, you know, you're done when like they can take care of themselves and stuff like that. I don't think that's going to be our reality. So it's interesting. I really did enjoy that aspect, but I really liked it. And I did not love Catherine Center's book last year at all. I forget what it was called. Hello, Stranger. But I love The Bodyguard. And this is kind of, there's a couple characters from The Bodyguard in this sporadically, but overall, I liked it. Would recommend it. Wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did. But yeah, if you love rom-coms, I'd check it out. Now, on to my next read, Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. And I literally just started it, and I noticed that there was an author's note in here from Ali, and she says that it's this book in particular, Not in Love, is tonally different from the work she's published in the past. Ruth and Eli have dealt with and still deal with the fallout from issues such as grief, food insecurity, and child neglect. They are eager to make a connection, but not sure how to go about it except through a physical relationship. The result is, I think, less of a rom-com and more of an erotic romance. Rue and Eli's story has, of course, a happily ever after, but also contains some serious themes, and I wanted to give you a heads up so you know what to expect. First of all, I love when authors do that, when they put trigger warnings, when they tell you, like, hey, you know, just kind of give you a little bit about the book. Hi. Hi. But this is going to be interesting to read. You know, when I read Ali Hazelwood, especially in like her STEM field books, it's more of a rom-com, I would say, and this one's going to be more of an erotic romance. See how different it is. Even her cover is kind of different than her other covers, so we'll have to see. For this one, before I get into it, I think I'd probably give this a 4 because that's kind of my track record with Ali Hazelwood. I'll update you when I know more. Hello everyone, it's been a few days. I am the worst vlogger. I swear, I say this every vlog. I always have this grand intention, of vlogging, and it just, somehow my week just gets bogged down with not stuff than reading what it should be, but you know what? Here we are. The last time I talked to you, which was a couple days ago, I had just started Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. Have I read any more of it? No. I've read maybe 5 pages. Honestly, I'm just not feeling it. And I've learned with myself, if I'm not feeling it, and that's not to say I am not DNF in this book at all. It just means I'm not feeling it right now. Like by right now, I mean this week. Probably next week I'll be in the mood for it, but just not right now. I don't know. I'm just not in the mood for it. I think I'm more into, you know, it's starting to get very warm here, like mid 80s, 90s even. And I live in Virginia, so humidity. But mornings are super nice, as you can hear all the birds. But with that, I'm kind of in a summer mindset of like kind of lighter summer read, so that's what I'm going for. So I was really wanting to read this book, but I'm just not feeling it right now, and I'm not gonna, I think if I force myself to read it, I'm gonna read it very, very slow. Hello. So that's where we're at. So I'm moving on. I had just started literally a novel love story by Ashley Poston, and this is definitely the right vibe for me. She writes very kind of cute, whimsical. It always has a fantastical element to it, so I'm very excited for this one. I'll explain more to you about it when I know more about it, but that's what I'm doing. And I also bought a book yesterday because I was just like, I just want a summer book. So of course I bought a book called A Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan, I think that's how you say it. But either way, it just looked really cute. The reviews were pretty good on it, and it just seemed like a perfect kind of summer read. And so I am like maybe 20 pages this one as well, and I'm also really enjoying it. So yeah, these are the last 2 books I'm going to read, and I really hope to be finished with them both. And probably today is Monday. I'm going to give myself till Thursday of the definitive date of the end of this vlog because I am horrible. It's already been over a week and I've only read 1 book. It's just, it's how it goes. It's how it goes. I don't know why I expect to read 3 books in a week. That is not possible for me. Like, why I think I can read 3 books in a week, I really honestly can't. And that's just, you know, maybe 5 years ago, yes, most definitely I could have. But now, not a chance. So I'm gonna, you know, start realizing that my vlogs are gonna be 2 weeks long, and that's okay. And I don't have to vlog every day. I have to let my expectations kind of go. Also, one of my hibiscus bloomed. It is beautiful. These blooms keep coming all summer long, and I'm obsessed. Also, the last time I showed you guys, I had 1 zinnia. This one right here. It's looking beautiful, but I have a ton more. I have a purple one. This one's gonna be kind of pinkish. Another pinkish one. This one's kind of like a double, like it's different from this orange one where it's multiple layers. I have this light pink one, and I have this hot pink one right here. So it's stunning, and there's going to be more buds along the way. Like, it's beautiful.
You got your blue shoes in the way you wear your hat, makes me smile. You're dancing like nobody's watching, but I've watched you for a while.
Everyone, it's been a few days. Don't mind my awful look. I have dirty hair. My face is breaking out because it's becoming ladies, you know, and it's just been a hard couple days because my kid got sick, so I'm trying to figure out if he's still sick, if he's not sick, was it just a fluke? You know how that goes. You know how it goes. Either way, I do want to update. I did finish a book. Yay me! I finished Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. I didn't do what this book is about. It's basically a summary book. It's about a character named Allie, who is a professional organizer. She is a single mom of 3 kids. She is recently going through a divorce, and she lost her mom a couple years ago, and she's really having, I would say, kind of a midlife crisis, or just a really big kind of traumatic period in her life, like going through a divorce, her mother, who was like her best friend, passing away. And so basically the whole book is the summer, obviously, called Summer Romance. She meets a guy named Ethan, and they click, and they maybe start to have a summer romance. There's not much to this book. I would say this is a great beach read. It's got a little bit of depth because it does talk about grief and divorce and finding yourself after all of that, because how hard it is. But it wasn't like amazing. So I would definitely say check this out if you just want a quick, fun, romantic read. I'm not disappointed by any means. I think it was exactly what I was expecting. It was a fast read. I read it very quickly for me. And it was what I wanted. Just kind of a filler book because I was in that kind of filler mood, I guess you could say. I'm 150 pages into a novel love story by Ashley Costin. And this book looks like it is 350, so I'm not good at math. I think am I halfway through? No, I'm almost halfway through, I'd say, but because I'm going to finish this tomorrow. This vlog has to end at some point, and it's going to end, so my plan is to finish it, because I just need to. We are just trying to get everything done in the house. I have a photo shoot at the beach tomorrow, which I'm pretty excited about. I haven't done a photo shoot at the beach in a long time, so I'm pretty excited about that, and then I'm just going to finally be done with this vlog. I will say, I think out of all the books I've read, this one is my favorite so far. It was just one exactly when I thought it was going to be, so yay for knowing myself, I guess. But either way, you know, I read a book, and I am 2 down. More to go. Maybe I'll start making my reading vlogs 2 books. I think that's more manageable. I say that every time. Do I ever do it? Now, hello, and welcome to the last clip of this vlog. I am just horrible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Again, I always apologize for vlogs because I always have these grand notions, and I just need to maybe stop vlogging. So I don't know if a lot of people even watch them, and I don't know if they're even enjoyable, honestly. But either way, I did finish yesterday a novel love story by Ashley Costin, and I have to say, I did not love it as much as I thought I would. I have given both her adult romances, The Dead Romantics and The 7-Year Slip, 5 out of 5. I would say my favorite of hers is The 7-Year Slip. I just thought that was so beautiful. I just didn't love. So this book follows a character named Eileen, like come on Eileen, and she is going through a very hard time. She broke up with her fiance a couple years ago. She learns that he's getting married again, and she decides to go on this trip alone. She usually goes on this week-long trip with her book club to this cabin in upstate New York every year, but this year no one could go. And Eileen is she's just very, she needs to get away, and so she does. And then her car breaks down in this small town that is fictional. So she breaks down in the town called Ellerton. Either way, it's the town of her favorite fictional series by this author Rachel Flowers, and she's like, what the heck? Like, characters that she's read about, she is seeing, and it's just insane. It's everything she dreamed of. She's like, how did I end up here? And I'm stuck here because her car's broke down. She's like, I don't know how to get out of here. And the story's kind of left unfinished because Rachel Flowers actually passed away before she could finish the series. And so the town's kind of stuck. And Elsie's like, maybe I'm here to help kind of revive it, to kind of finish the story. There she meets a bookstore owner named Anders, and they kind of have a hate to love kind of thing going on. And that's kind of the gist of it, is Elsie kind of stuck in this fictional town that she loves. And I liked it. I think with Ashley Poston, all of her books, I should say, have this fantastical kind of element to them that you just read. You don't really question much about it. It's just a part of it. The Dead Romantics character fell in love with a ghost. It was just happening. 7 Year Slip, the apartment that this character lived in would be a time rift continuum where sometimes it would be 7 years in the past, sometimes it'd be 7 years in the future. You didn't question it. It was kind of part of it. So this one's kind of the same, but this is the one where I did question it. I'm like, how is this possible? How can a fictional town be possible? Like, this one I just couldn't comprehend for some reason. The other two books I've read by her, I'm just like, this is what it is. These are the kind of quirks with the fantastical elements, and I'm living with them. That's fine. But this one I guess questioned. I don't know. And the love. I did not really enjoy the love interest in this story, like their love story. I didn't really feel that they had much chemistry, in my opinion. I wasn't jiving with it, and even the end, I just was still like, he's okay, they're okay together. Overall, I really did enjoy it. It's about finding yourself. It's about immersing yourself in these love stories, which we all do. Who would not want to go to the Shire one day or Hogwarts one day? I know I would want to. In a romance series, I would love to go to like Chestnut Springs by Elsie Silver. Where else would I like to go? That's part of a great series that I love. I would love to go to Alaska to see Calla and Jonah, but I don't know why, I just didn't jive with this book. You ever have that? There's explanations I've given you, but overall, I didn't connect to it as much as I did her other books. So I would give it a 4 out of 5. That's not to say I didn't enjoy it. I did enjoy it. I think it had a lot of great messages. Talks about, grief of losing someone. Talks about fixating your life on someone that you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with, and that doesn't happen. It's about finding yourself. It's about loving fictional stories. So it has a lot of really great qualities to it. But for me, it just wasn't there. So I don't know if other people feel this way. I could be solely alone on that, but I would recommend it. I think it's great, especially if you're a fan of like romance stories and really loving a series and delving into it, because it's kind of a taste of that going into this town where she gets to meet her favorite fictional characters of all time. Like, that's really cool. So overall, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. As far as my favorite book of this vlog, I would have to tie this with the rom-commers. I really enjoyed it, and I did enjoy summer romance, but sadly none of them were a full 5 out of 5 for me. That's okay, but I did enjoy them. I was not mad at reading any of them. I didn't think reading any of them was a waste of time, but yeah, that's my reading vlog. I'll try to do one next month. Maybe not, because these reading vlogs are just not happening for me. Ugh, I just need to readjust and refocus. Either way, I'm going to end with some beach footage I got at my photo shoot last night at the very end, so you can have a nice, beautiful ending to this video. As always, thank you for watching. Again, sorry for this mess of a vlog, but thanks. Don't know why I did that. Bye.